Right.
and Adrian into Facebook.
Foley. All good?
Yep. You can introduce yourself.
Hi guys, Anthony Peluso here, Wealth for Life. Good to see you guys again out there in Facebook land. Today we're going to come at you with something a little bit different. We're going to introduce you to one of our clients and get him to tell you a little bit about his story, about his successes and what he's gone through as an investor. Some of the challenges that he's had to overcome along the way, and give it to you directly from him. So, welcome on board, Glenn. How are you?
G'day, Anthony. Nice to see you again, mate.
Good, buddy. Good. Glenn, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I work in the building industry. I work with the maintenance division.
Yep.
And defects, sort of in apartments and
Yep.
small jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just your average blue collar worker, I suppose. Live in Croydon Hills. Yeah.
Good, mate. And married?
Yeah, married, 2 kids, 2
Yep.
adult kids. Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. So tell us, what was like? Why did you look at investing in real estate? What did you want to do? What is it that you wanted to accomplish?
I realised that coming through, I'm sort of mid-50s now, I realised that I wasn't going to, got to about 50, 40, 48, 45, somewhere there, and realised that my superannuation wasn't going to cut it for me, and also savings weren't going to cut it. And I've grown up with real estate. My father was a builder, and I've always seen the property market, how well it does, and usually outperforms better than in the low times. Yeah. And I thought, well, I had a couple of investment properties, and I realised that probably not going to be enough to retire on. So that's why I sort of thought I needed to do a bit more.
Yeah, because you started a lot of this on your own, right? Before you and I, how long have we known each other now for, mate? 5 years?
4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years, yeah. So you were doing a lot of this on your own before that?
I was. You're right.
How did that go?
It had its challenges. I was thinking I was buying property in the right areas, and for example, I bought a property in the northern suburbs, thinking it was going to have good growth. It didn't grow a lot in the 5 years that I had it. But then again, and I also bought property in Queensland, which that was sore, that one, yeah. And also a really bad one I invested in was a service department, which was I lost money on. Yeah. That's when I realised that I needed to get some help. Yeah. Good with this.
Excellent. And then you came on board. We hooked up. I think John, was it John? One of our friends.
John, one of our friends. Yeah.
That's right. You called me. That's right. I'm driving down Bell Street one Tuesday afternoon, and I get this phone call from you.
Yeah. That's right.
What have you achieved since we've come on board?
Okay. I guess Wealth for Life, you guys got me to basically sell all my bad investment properties that I had, and then I've since then built a portfolio with you guys. So I pretty much got rid of a lot of the properties that I had, except for 1 or 2. Yeah. And then so I've achieved what have I got? 8 properties now in 4 years. Yeah. So and now I'm doing really well. So thank goodness.
Yeah, good mate, good. And you're at a stage right now where, based on the figures and calculations and revenue modelling that we've done together, you don't need to accumulate any more property.
No, I've got enough now from what you guys have worked out for me, I'll be ready to give it away in 4 years. So I'm hoping it's the case.
Mate, tell me about your latest purchase, which has nothing at all to do with us.
Yeah, down in Rye. Yeah. I managed to buy a holiday house down the coast, down in Rye. And I just settled on that 3 weeks ago. So that's another good one under my hat.
What's the plan with that? To eventually live in there?
Well, eventually that'll be we will retire down there. Yeah, that's the plan. So we'll sell our main family home in Melbourne. Yep. And then move down the coast.
By the way, one of the girls in the office here wants to see if she could stay there in a couple of weeks' time with her partner. So I'll ask you that later on. I think you put the offer out to me anyway.
I did.
Awesome.
I did. Definitely did.
So we've been working together for 5 years. Along the way, what are some of the things that I suppose, how did you find it? Because I know you're quite conservative, and I know that you're not a guy that likes to take a lot of risks.
Correct.
Right? And how did you approach that? How did, because you're a very conservative guy, I know you were apprehensive, but what were some of the things that helped you overcome that when you got on board?
Okay, when I was doing it myself, I would probably buy a property every 2 years, 3 years maybe,
okay.
and then I'd feel comfortable that
Right.
I've paid enough off the property,
Yeah.
then I could now
Yeah.
reinvest into
Yeah.
another property. But that's when I realised that I'm never going to retire doing that. So when I came to you guys with the help of your team, you convinced me that you buy the right property in the right area at the right price, then things will be fine. And I was very apprehensive at first.
Yeah.
Pretty natural, I think.
And I'd be getting phone calls from Glenn. I'd be getting phone calls from you, mate, at 7 o'clock in the morning. Again, Anthony, I'm not sure if I've done the right thing, and I know you had a lot of concern, right? But
I did, and I had friends. And the worst thing was for me, I was listening to people who probably didn't really understand what I was doing, and were probably a bit conservative, like I was, and saying, "Oh, I think you've gone in too deep." But clearly, my income and everything that's associated with what I'm doing, and the rent and everything, it's all working out perfect. So good.
And I mean, has it I'll obviously be honest, has it caused any stress on your financial household, your lifestyle?
No, not at all. And the reason I say that is, again, you guys every 12 months you go over my portfolio, and which I appreciate, and basically tell me where I'm heading and where I am at the moment every 12 months. So that gives you a bit of security as well, to know that you're on the right train. Like, for example, you were at my place 4 weeks ago, because before I bought Rye, saying, "Anthony, can I afford this? Is it going to affect my retirement?" And you told me that we worked out a plan, and I'm actually better off than what I thought, a lot better off than what I thought I was. So.
Yeah, I think if I recall, we were able to find some money.
We did.
You weren't even aware you had.
Correct.
Yeah, and we're it's always a good thing.
Yeah.
So the main aim for you when you started this was what, Glenn? Financial freedom, retirement, putting yourself in a position where you didn't have to worry about money again.
Correct. All of those things. Early retirement, because I figured I've worked 6 days in this industry for the last 35, 40 years, and I do want to give it away as sooner than later. If I hadn't have come to you guys, I would have been working to 70. I know that now. And again, financial freedom. Knowing that I can say to Pauline, let's go on a holiday, or we can afford to go and do what we need to do.
And you've just booked you guys just booked another holiday?
Yeah, we just booked another one to Europe. Another holiday, last 2 weeks ago, so that's next year.
That's Germany and
Germany
all
and
those. Nice.
Down through France and again, and
Is that what, July next year?
July next year.
Nice. And you just came back from. I think you did a tour of you on a ship.
Yeah, we did a Rhine River cruise 2 years ago. That was the one down through Germany, all the way down to Budapest, and then got a bus across to Prague. Spent we'll probably go on a month.
Nice.
And then and again, I've still got all my properties, and they're all working, and I can still afford to save money and have a holiday. So it's very possible.
Yeah, good. Mate, from your viewpoint, what do you see as the biggest misconception out there when it comes to investing and building wealth? Because I know a lot of people are apprehensive. There's so much information, so much data out there. You turn on the news and you flip the TV channels and you get 3 different stories in the space of half an hour, right?
Yep.
So, and then you jump on the internet and there's information overload. So you've got people in confusion all the time, right? But what do you see from a purchaser? What do you see as the biggest misconception out there?
The biggest thing I see is the media. They love to come on. What's happening at the moment, we're seeing it on our TV every night. Media will come on there and scare everybody and say, interest rates are going up, and all of a sudden the property market's dropping, and investors love that sort of thing. That's when they jump on board. But it's just a scare tactic. I used to believe it, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
if you look at the way I see it, from my experience, if you look at property, what it's done since about 1970,
Yeah.
it's always it hasn't gone backwards.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
does, it's only short term, and then
Yeah.
it's up again.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Yeah. Good.
But the media are good at flattening out the property market.
Yeah.
Trying to.
They certainly are. And again, be honest. Has it all been smooth sailing for you? I mean, we've been working together for 5 years. Has it all been smooth sailing? What are some of the road bumps that you've hit along the way?
Oh, look, no, I'll admit that.
Absolutely.
It's like anything. You've got to go through a bit of turmoil and a bit of worry to get to there. But you actually just have to trust the people that are doing it for you.
Yeah.
And if you, it takes time to do for me, and now I do. And but yeah, no, some of the things that, for example, I had some because a lot of the properties I built,
Yeah.
house and land, you have your issues with your builders along the way. You have your typical issues with your property managers along the way until you find out you've the right one.
We love our property managers, don't we, mate?
Oh, we do.
I think you and I talk about property managers probably once a week.
Oh, we certainly do.
Most of the time, positive. Most of the time.
But most of the time it's positive.
Yeah.
Correct. And I just ring Amy up. She sorts it all out for me anyway.
Yeah.
So in here, so it's all basically painless for me.
She's good. So,
Yeah,
so
she
really, how much attention do you give your portfolio? You've got a pretty big portfolio. Let's face it, right? You know, I think you're sitting, from what I last saw, including your home where you live and probably 10 properties or something like that. Yeah, right.
Correct.
So, it's running pretty much autonomously, right? Without you needing to get involved.
Well, actually, funny you say that. I spoke to Pauline about it the other night because Pauline goes on probably usually before the end of
Pauline's
each
your
month.
wife, obviously, right.
Sorry, Pauline's my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she always checks the bank and each property to make sure there's enough funds in there to cover loans and all that sort of stuff. And she was telling me the other day, basically it's seamless. She's not having to top it up much. It's running clockwork at the moment. All the rent's getting paid on time.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's pretty good that way. It's been pretty good.
And talk about some of the team you've built around you. So you and I obviously, and Wealth for Life work very closely together. And who are some of the other people that you've got around you that help out?
I've got Field Group, my accountant, which has been amazing. They're out my way too in Ringwood. So
shout out to John.
Hi John.
And the guys at Field Group, accounting firm that I think we put you guys onto.
You did.
Phenomenal firm.
Oh, unbelievable.
Really
good
guys.
I can ring John at any time of the day.
Yeah.
And for an accountant to pick his phone up on a Saturday and talk to me or ring me back within a short period of time, that's pretty amazing.
Don't tell everyone that because I can just see John rolling his eyes thinking, oh my God, people are now, my weekends are gone, right?
No.
So Field Group are handling all your taxes and your accounting work, and that's going well.
They do.
And who else did we...
who else have I got?
Do we take care of estates and planning and all that? I think we looked at...
We need to do that next.
Good.
That's something we need to talk about
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
But we haven't got to that point yet. But
Good. And then we've the girls in here, Sophie and a couple of the bankers have handled all your finance along the way.
Yeah, Sophie and the girls have been handling finances for me and some of the external bankers as well that you use.
I mean, I like talking to you, Glenn, because, you know, it's like we sat down 5 years ago, we put together a roadmap, right?
Yep.
And I've got to hand it to you, you have followed that to a T.
Yep.
Right? I mean, along the way it's had its challenges with some property managers and, you know, and some lending criteria that continuously changes. That's fine, that's part of the game. And,
that's correct.
You know, for a lot of the sophisticated investors and guys that have been in doing this for a while, they understand it's almost part of the process. But I've got to hand it to you. You've taken our advice on board, right? You've done everything we've asked you to do.
Yep. And
now, I mean, I don't want to, you know, I won't say live what your position is, but needless to say that, you know, that what we've calculated and where you're heading to, it's the kind of income and cash flow that, you know, people dream about, the kind of money that, you know, they're going to be getting in retirement.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so I want to hand it to you for taking our advice on board, and, you know, and questioning it as well. You know, you certainly weren't a guy that just took whatever we said and just ran with it. You asked the right questions. We set up the right structures. We put the right people in place.
Yep.
You know, you started accumulating your portfolio, and now we're at a stage in your investing cycle where you don't need to purchase anything more. And I think our next step right now is that we start a debt reduction strategy where we look at basically eliminating all the debt that you have
Yep.
And then we leave you in a position where you've got a number of assets cash flowing you, the money that we set out for you to be earning,
Yep. Yep.
when you stop working.
Yeah, well, that's right. We were talking about doing that in the next couple of years. That's where we're heading next, and then also
60. We want to hang up the boots at 60.
hang up the boots at 60, and then we need to. You were also talking to me about how we manage capital gains as well.
Yeah, things like capital gains tax and all that kind of stuff. But even now, I mean, we won't get into it here, but we're working on a number of other strategies, investment strategies that are giving you just a return on your cash.
That's exactly right.
In addition to what you're doing with your investment, your property portfolio.
Yeah.
You never jumped into shares?
No, I think my personal opinion on that is you're either property or shares.
Yeah.
I'm a property guy. Property for me it's always been a win.
Yeah.
Shares is, yes, you can do well in shares, but it's the roller coaster ride I can't deal with shares. As we were talking about earlier. Move too quickly, yeah. But
mate, so tell me, you're at the age of 60, mate. You're going to hang up the boots. What's retirement look like for you? What do you and Pauline and the kids plan on doing?
I'm not sure about the kids, but hopefully not living at home.
Exit them out straight away.
Out the door. But for us, travel.
Yeah.
Pauline and I plan on travelling a lot. So, which, probably if I hadn't have invested in what I'm doing in property, I probably no way I'd be able to think about that.
Yeah.
I'd probably be working till I'm 70 or 65 at least.
Yeah.
But at least this has given me the vehicle to now give me choices, I suppose.
That's awesome, man.
In going forward.
Good, man.
And I thank you guys for that. So.
Appreciate it. Now, okay, we'll probably wrap it up.
Yep.
In anything else you'd like to say with regards to where you've started, what you've done along the way, and where you are right now, and if there's people out there that are thinking of looking at building wealth, what words would you have for them?
Yeah, look, if there's anyone that has an inkling that they want to that they don't think they're on the right train, what they're doing, and they want to do well, I'd suggest you ring these guys, and I couldn't recommend them highly enough.
Yeah.
And I thank every one of them.
And we haven't paid you to say any of this, right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's the other thing too. I found with you guys is too I didn't get charged for my initial consultation with you, which a lot of these guys, some people do charge, So I thank you for that, Anthony. And everything's good.
It's good, man. And and the good thing is, you and I now have we've gone past the. I mean, you were at my house last year for the grand final day, right?
Yeah, we've become friends.
We've become friends, and that's that's the thing about what we do. It's not a business and a client thing. It's some of the best relationships I have right now are with guys like yourself and and the Lisa Fords of the world and the Srinivasas of the world. All of our clients become really, really close friends, and that's like icing on the cake. Yeah,
and like the Christmas parties you put on, we get invited to, and the personal things that you don't have to do that you just guys do. You know what I mean?
Actually, I just signed off on the Christmas party location for this year.
Right.
You'll love it, mate.
Oh, great.
Your name's on the list.
Oh, beautiful.
Your name's on the list. It's an interesting venue.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different to what we did last year.
But that's what I like.
Yeah.
I mean, that gives you confidence in what you're doing with who you're doing it with, because you've got that. You're not just here to get you on the train and then let you go and see you later. You've got that personal touch too. And
it's obviously worked, mate, because you wouldn't have come back if the first one and the second ones didn't work. You wouldn't have been here. So, Glenn, thank you very much for your time, mate. Appreciate you coming in for a quick chat. And it's great to see the success that you've had, Pauline have had, and I think even your daughter Jessie now is. Yeah, she's looking at coming on board. She's looking when she gets back from her trip overseas. You guys travel a lot. Yeah, I know. We do. It's great, man, and to offer your time for something like this, so appreciate it. And guys, again, this is one of our many clients that's done really, really well in investing and building wealth. Just for coming in, for a chat over a coffee, mapping out their next 5 or 10 years, and then putting some plans in place to give you a predictable outcome. Yeah. And I don't think, in fact, if anything, and I mean, these were your words, your portfolio's done a hell of a lot better than what we actually even predicted it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
a lot better.
because we had you know, hanging up the boots, retiring at 65.
65, correct.
And here you are now at the age of what are you now? 54.
No, 55.
55?
56. Yep.
So you're 5 years away from saying tick done.
Yep, done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going off what we just that plan that we just did a few
Yeah.
weeks ago as well. You confirmed that.
Very cool, man. Thank you
Thanks
very
a lot,
much for coming in.
Anthony.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys, for watching and listening. And stay tuned. We will see you next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Thanks, guys.